My wife slept with my successful brother. Then tried to blame me for the affair. Now I'm the millionaire in the family, and he's begging me for a job. Let me start by saying I was never the kind of guy to chase drama. I liked simple things. Quiet mornings, grocery lists, Sunday barbecues. I married young, stuck with one job for years, and tried to keep my head down while the world kept spinning faster around me. My brother Jake? Total opposite. Life of the party, always had a fresh haircut and a better car. He was the kind of guy who somehow made flipping burgers at a tailgate look like a networking event. We were close once, or at least I thought we were. That's what makes what happened sting in a way I still can't fully explain. I came home early one Wednesday. That's the hook. That's the moment my entire life pivoted. The day everything I thought I knew about loyalty, love, and family cracked wide open. I wasn't supposed to be home until 6, but my meeting got canceled, and I figured I'd beat rush hour. I even stopped to grab Thai food, her favorite. I remember thinking maybe we'd sit out on the porch for once, watch the sun go down, actually talk like we used to. But when I walked through that door, takeout bag swinging in my hand, the universe smacked me across the face. There she was, my wife, sitting on Jake's lap, not standing too close, not sharing a laugh, not even one of those almost innocent hugs that last a little too long. No. She was in his lap, her hand in his hair, his mouth near her neck, her top slightly tugged to the side. They didn't even hear me at first. That's how into it they were. I didn't yell. I didn't even breathe, I think. I just dropped the food. The containers hit the floor with a dull thud, and that's what finally made them turn around. Her face fell like a building in slow motion. Jake looked like he just got caught cheating on a test in school. Sheepish, stupid, frozen. Nobody moved. Nobody said a damn thing. I backed out of that house like it was on fire. Maybe it was. The worst part wasn't that she cheated. The worst part was that it was him. Jake, my brother, the one my parents couldn't stop bragging about. The one who used to take me on bike rides when we were kids and promised we'd always be Team Us. Turns out Team Us didn't include me once he saw something of mine he liked more. I slept in my truck that night, the Thai food still sitting in the passenger seat, cold, unopened. Just like me. I didn't know it then, but that was the beginning of something else, something bigger. I thought I had lost everything. But losing them? That's exactly what made space for the life I was meant to build. I wish I could say they tried harder to apologize. But they didn't, not really. The day after I caught them, I got a long text from her and 2 words from Jake. I'm sorry. That's it. This man slept with my wife and thought 2 words would somehow patch the crater he blew through my life. Her message was classic damage control. She said she felt confused, that she and I had drifted, and Jake just happened. Like he was a spilled glass of water, not my brother. She said she loved me but wasn't sure she was in love with me. Like I hadn't heard that garbage in every rom-com where the wife runs off with someone hotter. It didn't make me sad. Not then. It made me furious. And you know what fury does? It wakes you up. I moved out that weekend. Didn't tell anyone. Just packed what I needed, drained half our joint account. My half, and disappeared. Rented a tiny 1-bedroom over a pizza shop and started making calls. People I hadn't talked to in years. College buddies. Old coworkers. I told them I wanted to build something, and for the first time in my life I wasn't asking for permission. I had an idea for a small logistics firm. Nothing fancy, just smart. Efficient. I'd been managing supply chains for a decade. I knew the game. I just never thought I'd play it for myself. Meanwhile, Jake? He went full Instagram mode. Started posting pictures of them together like they were some golden couple on a yacht in Santorini. Captioned one of them, "When you know, you know." I swear I nearly threw my phone through a wall. But here's the twist. Money doesn't equal smarts. Jake was all flash. He jumped on every shiny trend. Dumped half his savings into some NFT scam. Leased a Tesla he couldn't afford just to keep up appearances. I knew he was burning cash like kindling. And I also knew something he didn't. Reputation goes further than clout. I kept my head down and grinded. No sleep, no distractions. I worked 16-hour days building the company from scratch. 1 truck, then 2, then 5. Found a couple of small business clients who hated the big-name carriers and wanted someone who'd actually pick up the phone. I gave them that. And when they called back, they brought friends. By the time the divorce was finalized, I had a team of 10, a warehouse, a new accountant, and a lawyer who, to this day, says she's never seen a cleaner financial extraction from a marriage. I didn't even want alimony. I just wanted out. Jake tried to reach out once during that time, said he wanted to clear the air, told me we were family and shouldn't let a mistake ruin everything. I told him the only air that needed clearing was the one he was sucking all the oxygen from. And then I hung up. That was the last time I spoke to him. At least until the fall, when things started to fall apart. Not for me, for him. It started with whispers. A friend of a friend mentioned Jake was selling his second car. Then I heard he let his assistant go. Then came the real bomb. The startup he'd been bragging about for months completely folded. Turns out the guy he partnered with took off to Bali with the investor money and left Jake holding the bag. I'd be lying if I said I didn't laugh. Not a smug laugh either. Just that dry, tired kind of laugh you let out when karma finally clocks in for work. Meanwhile, my company had just locked in a regional contract with a major retailer. The kind of deal that changes your calendar. I went from managing spreadsheets in a hoodie to wearing suits to meetings and being called sir by people twice my age. My bank account? Let's just say for the first time in my life I wasn't calculating how many bills I could pay before payday. I was looking at investments. Property. Real estate. I wasn't just catching up. I was winning. And Jake knew it. That's probably why I got the call. He didn't even lead with a greeting. Just started talking like we'd chatted yesterday. Said things had been rough, that he'd made some mistakes, and that he was trying to rebuild. All vague, all classic Jake. He told me he was thinking of starting something new and wanted to pick my brain. Like we were two equals with history instead of the guy who shattered my marriage asking the person he betrayed for advice. I kept it cool. Asked him how the yacht girl was doing. He didn't laugh. Said she left a few months ago. Took some of his furniture when she left. Left him a note that just said, "You're not him, you just dress like him." I almost felt bad. Almost. He said he was living in a condo now. Barely affording rent. Working freelance and bouncing between gigs. He tried to sound upbeat about it, but I could hear it in his voice. The desperation, the regret. Then came the ask. Said he had this idea, and he'd love to partner on it. I told him I wasn't looking for a partner. He said we could make something great together. That I had the business mind, and he had the charisma. I said, yeah, you had enough charisma to steal my wife. Silence. Then he had the audacity to say I was being childish. That we were family. That word hit different coming from him, like a slap with a wedding ring still on the hand. I told him flat out, you weren't family the moment you touched my wife. You're just a guy the first used to share a last name with. And then I ended the call, but I could still hear his voice after. Still see him looking slick in those old photos with my ex. He always thought he'd be the one on top forever. He never imagined I'd be the one holding the cards. But here we were, and I wasn't done yet. It all came full circle the night of our parents' anniversary dinner. I hadn't seen Jake in over a year, and honestly, I wasn't planning to. But my mother insisted I show up. Said it would mean a lot to your father, and that she just wanted one night where we could all be civil. I almost said no. Almost. But I figured showing up successful, healthy, and unbothered would be the loudest kind of silence I could deliver. So I walked in wearing a tailored suit, new watch on my wrist, and the keys to my brand new pickup still warm in my pocket. Heads turned. Not gonna lie, it felt good. My cousins kept asking what I'd been up to. I kept it vague, said I'd been busy. One of them whispered that Jake had been sleeping on a buddy's couch for a few weeks now. Something about an eviction. I nodded and helped myself to a drink. Jake showed up late. Unshaven, hoodie instead of a jacket, sneakers instead of shoes. The room dipped into that weird hush it gets when something's off. He tried to play it cool, giving finger guns and a forced smile. No one really responded. Not even our mom. That was the moment I realized something had shifted. The golden boy shine? It was gone. Later that night, I stepped outside to take a call and found Jake sitting on the curb, cigarette in hand, staring at nothing. He looked up at me and said, "I screwed up." I didn't reply. He kept talking anyway, said he missed how things used to be, said he envied me now, said he wished he could undo it. And for a second, one single second, I felt sorry for him. Then I remembered the sleepless nights, the way he looked at her in that photo, the voicemail where he laughed while my life was falling apart. So I said this: "You didn't just screw up. You showed me exactly who you are. And the only thing I regret is not seeing it sooner." He didn't say anything after that. Just sat there, smoke curling around his face, while I walked back inside to the people who actually gave a damn about me. A few weeks later, our dad rewrote his will. Left everything to me: house, land, investments. Jake got $1. That's not symbolic, that's what the lawyer literally said. $1. Enough that he couldn't contest it. When I signed the papers, I felt nothing. Not joy. Not revenge. Just clarity. This man wasn't my competition. He was a lesson. A loud, cruel, unavoidable lesson. And the life I was building now? It had nothing to do with proving anyone wrong. It was about finally becoming the version of me he never saw coming. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit a notification bell if you haven't done it yet.